Namaste all. Today we are having a video on introduction to respiratory system in humans. Terrestrial organisms use the oxygen in the atmosphere for respiration. This oxygen is absorbed by different organs in different animals. You studied in class 7 and 8 about respiration and respiratory structure present in different organisms. All these organs have a structure that increases the surface area which is in contact with the oxygen rich atmosphere. Since the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide has to take place across the surface is very fine and delicate. In order to protect this surface, it is usually placed within the body. In multicellular organisms, mostly the respiratory structures are present inside the body and there will be connections to that structure. So there have to be passages that will take air into this area. In addition, there is a mechanism for moving the air in and out of this area where the oxygen is absorbed. So we are coming to the case of human beings. Air is taken into the body through nostrils. As you know, nostrils are there, and the air passing through the nostrils is filtered by fine hairs that lines in that passage. The hair filter the dust particle, and the passage is also lined with mucus which help in this process. Mucus help to adhere the dust particle and it does not allow the dust particles to go into the lungs. From here, the air passes through the throat and to the lungs. Rings of cartilage are also present in this throat. These ensure that air passage does not collapse. Cartilaginous rings are there. It does not allow the windpipe to collapse. Within the lungs, the passage divides into smaller and smaller tubes which finally terminate in balloon-like structure which are called alveoli. The windpipe divides into bronchi, bronchioles, then alveoli. Alveoli is fine balloon-like structure with thin walls are there, like our soap bubble. The alveoli provide a surface where the exchange of gases can take place. The walls of alveoli contain an extensive network of blood vessels. As we have seen in earlier years, in 8th and I think in 8th, yes, when we breathe in, we lift our ribs and flatten our diaphragm. When we lift our ribs, the lung capacity become increased and the chest cavity become larger as a result, and because of this, air is sucked into the lungs and fills the expanded alveoli. The blood brings carbon dioxide from the rest of the body for release into the alveoli, and the oxygen in the alveolar air is taken up by blood in alveolar blood vessels to be transported to all the cells in the body. That means the inhaled air, that is oxygen, is mixed up with the blood, and the blood carries the oxygen rich blood to all the cells of the body. When it comes back, it took carbon dioxide from the cells and it releases in the lungs. During the breathing cycle, when air is taken in and let out, the lungs always contain a residual volume of air so that there is sufficient time for oxygen to be absorbed and for the carbon dioxide to be released. Residual volume means a reserve volume. Suppose we are a little bit late also, nothing will happen, little bit, not too much, and that residual volume will adjust. Finally, when a person dies, the residual volume also goes out. So we can say kaattu poi. When the body size of animal is large, the diffusion pressure alone cannot take care of oxygen delivery to all the parts of the body. Instead of respiratory pigments take up oxygen from the air in the lungs and carry it to tissues which are deficient in oxygen before releasing it. In human beings, the respiratory pigment is hemoglobin. You know it, hemoglobin. It is a red colored pigment which is present in our RBC, red blood cells, which has a very high affinity for oxygen. This pigment is present in red blood corpuscle. Carbon dioxide is more soluble in water than oxygen, and hence it is mostly transported in the dissolved form in our blood. A video is following. Kindly see the animated video and you will learn completely. Thank you.